Travis, well played. Mate, coming in at 3 for 12, do you sort of look at that as your finest test innings to date, to be able to make 100 and so quickly and turn the momentum of the match?
Thanks, Ben. We'll wait and see how the game pans out. I'm disappointed that I wasn't able to go on and get a big score. I felt like I had earned the right and then worked really hard to get to that position, and to give it up that easily, I'm pretty disappointed. And look, in terms of where my innings sits, I guess we'll wait and see. We've got to wait for England, but hopefully we put them under high pressure, and it turns into a match. I guess that first innings puts us in a position to win a game of cricket for Australia, and then sit back and reflect on that.
Andrew Ramsey.
Hi, Trev, and congrats.
Hey,
there's been a bit said about you changes to your technique and things like that, but is much change in your sort of mental approach? Are you feeling a bit more sort of comfortable in the environment, or is there something that's you seem a bit more relaxed without having to stress about it so much?
Yeah, I've definitely come into the series more relaxed. I spoke about that leading into Brisbane, and the fact that Pat and Jael have backed me in quite hard over the period, and asked of me to go out and, I guess, play the way I see the game, and I had that backing. And I feel like also that I've come off some strong Shield seasons to know that my game is in good order. And I guess coming in and having experience that sort of had a fair blueprint on Test cricket and a fair crack at it over a period of time, I've definitely come in with an attitude of an expectation of what's required, and I'll be able to go out and express myself in that manner as I've seen fit. It's nice to contribute and be as consistent as I have been.
Rob Forsyth.
G'day, Trev. Congrats on the ton.
Thanks, Rob.
What sort of first innings total do you think you need to win this game? And is it the sort of pitch that you think your attack should be pretty dangerous on?
Well, I think anything over 300 is going to be a great start, I think. You look at probably traditionally in Australia, that 400 plus score, this wicket is probably more suited, and the conditions, pink ball, we probably look at it more like he's probably more bowl friendly. And in the UK, when we played in 19, it was all about 300 and getting to 300 and past 300. And we know if we get enough runs, we've got a high quality bowling attack. So anything over 300 and batting as long as we possibly can tomorrow is going to be key. And when we bowl, it's just making sure we identify the moments with that ball. I think it's going to be a tough new ball wicket as we've seen today. And then as that ball it gets softer, I guess, over time, identifying the moments that or the tempo of the game that we may change will come to different plans. So we got to be quick in identifying that, smart identifying that, and then communicate that really well throughout the team. And I feel like, we definitely got the bowling attack to take 20 wickets.
Looks like the last one here, given it's this late at night. Alex Malcolm.
Well, hi, Trev. I heard you mention on an interview with Channel 7 there about your preparation and how you put a higher price on your wicket in your net sessions, really focusing on making yourself hard to get out. Can you sort of expand and give us some insight on that development in your game?
Yeah, that's been something for a long period of time, probably a couple of years now. Having chats with with Jael and Tim Nielsen at home at the Saka, and there has been a tendency over my career that I haven't had the best of nets or hasn't been the best net batter, and I think I determined that to probably not being able to. I guess in the past I've been high on my technique and I'm a high thinker of what I'm doing at training. I do a lot of drill work, a lot of ball machine work, a lot of top hand, strong right side stuff and moving in good positions. And I feel like I probably wasn't taking the time to do my technique stuff and then also batting nets the way I probably should bat in training. I was sort of sort of mashing the two together, and then you're trying to work on technique when you're trying to face Starkey and Hoff and whatnot in the nets. You're never going to get the desired results. And I had to really, transition my technical side of things to training and against the bowlers, making sure that I was game ready. There's times to do both, and I think I've been able to find that balance. And definitely over the last, I did that technique stuff in Sydney for 3 days, had 2 days off, and the last 2 days were sort of facing bowlers around game style and then being tough to get out. So I sort of try to bat the way I would start my first 20 balls, and I think that's been a real shift in the way I've trained.
Thanks, guys. Well,
I think it's quite a balanced day, actually. Like you said, I thought we bowled fantastically well up front, and then I felt like the movement went out of the ball completely after about 20 overs. So I think and they also counter-punched fantastically well with Marnus and Travis Head. And you've got to give them credit for being quite smart there and playing a couple of very smart innings in the situation that they were in at 12 for 3 or whatever it was. But yeah, I thought in the middle session in particular, I thought we were a little bit slow to adapt to what was happening in front of us, and we could have bowled better. You know, I think that at times for long periods of time on this tour, we've controlled the rate of the game.
Hi, John. I just wondered, obviously, Jimmy must have been looking on pretty jealously, given the conditions out there. Can you just let us know what was it just resting him, or is there a niggle, or is there any particular issue to worry about with him in long term?
Jimmy's just got a bit of a hamstring niggle, so we didn't want to put him out there again.
Fair enough. But as you're saying, you let it slip a wee bit. I mean, these conditions, I suppose, were as close to English conditions as you guys will have arguably ever faced in Australia. I mean, or do you disagree with that? I mean, what do you put that slip in the second hour down to, do you think?
Well, like I said, the pink ball is very different to the red ball at Kookaburra, which is very different to the Duke's ball as well. So as you'll notice with these day-night games, the conditions change a lot very quickly, and the condition of the ball changes a lot. And the timing of when you're batting against a new ball and batting against a ball that isn't quite so new is really important in these games. And the combination of Travis and Marnus counter-attacking and hitting our guys off their lengths really, and us being a little bit slow to adapt to that, I think was the cause of what was a really good partnership between Travis and Marnus, and then Travis and Cameron. So, I think you've got to give them credit where it's due. It was a really smart innings Travis played. However, yeah, I think we could have adapted quicker to what was put in front of us for sure. But again, Ollie's injury and the fact that Joe had to bowl, it's not straightforward.
I mean, there was that obviously Mark Wood got a bit of tap, and Chris Wokes as well. I suppose he's had a tough tour, hasn't he? I mean, he looked a little bit down on confidence, perhaps, did he?
No, that's not what I'm hearing from Chris. He was really keen to get out there and play some cricket and show people what he can do. Again, he's a pretty good performer across all formats. As far as I'm concerned, he's a fantastic cricketer. From where I'm sat and I'm talking to him directly, he's definitely not low on confidence.
Thank you very much, everyone. Cheers.
Thank you.